Hey guys, that sounded like another YouTuber, I think. We want to start this live stream out with the Ford Focus RS. Of course, I'll wait for a few guys to jump in. Sinking Banana, you are the first. What's up? Guys, what's going on? Somebody's calling me their dad. And I hope that's not the case. I don't think I have any kids, but couple guys. Whoa, you're scaring me here. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. I got the Ford Focus RS up here on the screen. Hope you guys can see that. I'm going to take a few of your guys' calls today, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we're gonna, as always, take a bunch of auction requests. So there's a lot of good questions here already popping in, and we're going to just make a few different. Let's see here. Got rid of that. Let's see what we got here. Hello, Indianapolis. People, you have questions about my Corvette. Definitely type the questions, or I'm going to have you guys call in. We're going to talk about the Ford Focus RS really quick. But a call-in number. If you want to call me right now and talk, number's 515-602-9667. That's 515-602-9667. So, I'm going to look at a few questions here. One of them, this is a question I get a lot from Charles. They ask, how did I learn to rebuild cars? I would just say is kind of like self-taught and fun. The first car that I ever had that I started having some issues with was an Audi TT, and I didn't want to go to the Audi dealership and spend a lot of money to fix it, so I went and I at first hired some mobile mechanics. That was a disaster. These guys were like, sometimes you'll look at my videos and you'll say, what in the heck is this guy doing? But these guys were just, it was hysterical. It didn't work out. And then we went and got, I just went and started looking up tutorials online. I watch a ton of Chris Fix videos. You guys will hear me say that in my current videos when I'm working on cars. But cars, just like any other projects, if you have the right tools and the right directions, you'll do fine with it. It's kind of like IKEA, a little bit more difficult than IKEA though. But it's still not really difficult. Don't let any old school mechanic tell you can't rebuild a car. So anyway, let me see. I'm gonna switch screens really quick here. I still got to get that second monitor. You guys are bugging me about getting that second monitor. And I want to just see what is going on as far as calls. Looks like a couple calls are coming in. So number is 515-602-9667. And I will go ahead and type that into the chat box here so you guys know. 515-602-9667. I'm going to hit enter so you guys can see the phone number here. Real quick, Ford Focus RS, a couple things I wanted to note in the actual Copart listing. This is the car I bought. This is the car that you see me rebuilding right now. And the pictures were a little tricky on this one. So mainly I talk a lot about front frame rails. And you can see my car has a problem with front frame rails. And one of the things I didn't take into great consideration is both of these pictures of the front end of the car are at angles. And so really, here's the one that shows that it's really kind of on an upward angle here. And that should have been a very big key to me figuring out that these frame rails were twisted somewhat. This one in particular is pretty bad. Again, if you watch my last video, the passenger side one is not as bad, and this will be repaired, but it's going to be tricky because it's not too far back. A lot of people have wrote me say, hey, you definitely got to replace that. Make sure you pull the engine, pull the transmission, and swap that. Oh, guys, you can't see the screen. My gosh, let me fix that for you guys. You guys are going to have to keep me on my toes. I got to get that second monitor. That will really help this thing out. So here's the two pictures, guys. Sorry about that. The two pictures are right here. And yeah, this is the bad one right here. This is the not so bad one. This one will be able to be moved, no problem. But it's this one that's questionable. And if you saw my video, you saw that really it's only about an inch back from the frame. And on my Fiesta, they were back quite a bit. That would have been more appropriate to replace those. So it's a question of whether they're going to cut them or not. So, there's a lot of different things. Well, I say a lot. There's really 3 different things you can do. You can cut them, you can bend them, or you can drill them out all the way to the back. We'll get to that when we get to that. Otherwise, everything else is kind of self-explanatory looking at the pictures. This is something you haven't seen a lot in the video. This rear bumper is hurt, and I'm wondering if I can get that repaired because rear bumper's pretty bad. But, geez, I would love to find a perfect, rear bumper with this rear diffuser. Would be great. This wheel is also curved up quite a bit. I'm hoping it's not out of balance because they're really, really, really expensive. So I'm going to switch screens one more time. I'm going to see if we have a call in, and then we will keep going on. Wow, we got a lot of guys calling in. Somebody, let's see here. Seth is calling in. I'm going to take Seth's call first. Seth, what is going on, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
Good, man. Tell me what's going on with your Corvette.
So I have a 2011 Corvette that I'm working on at work.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like your situation on your Corvette. I think the computer that was near the passenger side fender.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is there, but ours is still a non-starter.
Okay. And you said this is a 2011?
Yeah.
Okay, so same as mine. It's got the ECM, but the car won't start. Does it crank at all, or does it just kind of... Tell me what happens when you hit the push-to-start button with the keys in your pocket.
When we push to start, it just makes a crack noise and just doesn't try to do anything.
Okay, so but that noise that you're referring to, does it sound like the starter is clicking or attempting to do anything?
Yes.
Okay, so if the starter is moving, then you've got to diagnose it as a crank no start. See, mine specifically, if you go back and look at the video, when you would hit it, everything would shut down and then restart because there was no computer. It was probably sending the task over to the computer to then start the engine, and it didn't work. So, by the way, hold on. Somebody mentioned in the chat real quick that we need a Discord. I want that person to email me, samcrackauto@gmail.com. Tell me a little bit more about that because I want to get that started. Now, going back to the Corvette issue, I'm sorry. I had to say that, otherwise I forgot. You got to diagnose it as a crank no start. Now, what sort of damage did this car have?
It has front right end damage.
Okay. And have you turned the engine over by hand, make sure everything there is good? Any oil leak out or anything like that?
No oil was leaking, and we put a pry bar on it, or not like a pry bar, a breaker bar to see if it turns the engine, but it does turn.
Okay, so you're good there. Did you see the tool that I use, that Chevrolet uses to diagnose it, or have you used a full system scanner to see if you got any codes?
Yes, we did. We did not get any codes back.
No codes? Well, that would
The only thing we have is an airbag light.
Uh-huh. That shouldn't cause any issue. My car still has the airbag light. I haven't reset it because I plan to do it on camera. The car will still run with a blown airbag.
Yeah.
If you didn't get... Now, what sort of reader did you use? Did you use a Chevrolet specific one like I showed, or did you use just a generic one?
I work at a Chevrolet, and we use that computer to see if we can get anything, and we just can't get anything to pop up. No diagnostic codes.
Okay. Well, I think you've got one of those ones that's difficult, and obviously it's fairly difficult for me sitting in front of a computer screen to, do it. I'd have to look at the car, but it's just a matter of going through your checklist of, is the car getting fuel? If you hear I don't know if you're hearing the fuel pumps priming. If you saw my recent Focus RS video, if that car just didn't have one harness plugged in, which could cause you an issue, but that should also throw a code. Air, fuel, spark, if you got it all and all the computers are working and you haven't tried to reflash the computer, although if it's clicking, if your starter's clicking, I think you should be pretty decent. So that's a tough one, man. I wish I could give you more information, but it sounds a little bit different than mine since mine was completely missing the ECM.
Okay.
I wish I could help you
We'll
out
try
more.
to flash the computer. We'll try to flash the computer again, but it just seems like it won't start.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wish I could definitely help you out more, Seth. It's just one of those things that seems kind of like an isolated issue with your car. And again, if I was able to put my hands on it, it'd be a different story. But yeah, I appreciate you calling in. And I want to just plug one quick thing, of course, here. You saw it up on the screen. We have the Jaguar here. It is going for sale. A lot of people asked in the last video. The Jaguar showed up, or a couple of videos ago, they said, hey, I saw the Jaguar in your video. Did you take it back from Copart? No, it is still from sale. I just happened to shoot that clip before I had taken the Jaguar to Tifton. I've had the Fiesta for a little while now. And yeah, it's there. It's still in Tifton. It's not in my possession. Another question I'm getting a lot is, does the car run? Does it not run? What's the story with that? If you saw the video, I had to get it towed the last few miles to the Tifton, Georgia location. Apparently they got something working, whether something cooled down, whether they tapped the starter. A lot of people suggested, and something that makes a lot of sense, is the thing that would not allow your car to turn over in the case that it was a, your transmission is in neutral or reverse or something like that. Now, I did shimmy the gear selector knob whenever I was trying to turn it over. That didn't work for me, but these guys got it started, and I haven't got any more additional information. I wish I could. But since it wasn't clicking at all, I really personally would point first to the starter. But then again, I don't know. I literally had the car in my possession another couple minutes. That was right as the car was being delivered and everything. So I'd never had any time to diagnose it. So definitely factor that into the price. It's not perfect. It could happen to you again if you decide to want to buy it and drive it home. But the car should start the first time. Let's put it that way. Anyway, let's go back to the calls really quick. I'm going to see what we got here because there are a ton of people on the phone. And let's see what we got here. A lot of different stuff. This is a tough one. This is a call that I want to take, but I'm kind of, this is a tough one. So Louie's on the line from North Carolina. Louie, tell me what your question is.
Hi, Sam. I watch videos all the time. My question is about the Domino's Pizza car. I feel that everybody would want to know what's going on about the lawsuit, and I'm just astounded that they could actually put this lawsuit, because I feel that once you buy something, it's yours, and that's it. And the way they sell it to you, that's the way it's supposed to be, but I guess that's just me.
Sure. Okay, so Louie wants to know what's going on. And so, Louie, I just want to correct one thing here. These were all legal threats. There was a threat of that sort of action occurring, a lawsuit, verbally and through written communication. This is kind of, obviously happened a little while ago. I think most of you guys that follow the channel know pretty much everything. Everything I said in those videos is pretty much what occurred. After the release of my videos explaining the situation on YouTube, which was highly recommended, I didn't do by attorneys and people close to me, everything kind of went away. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to say went away because I don't know. Anybody could contact me at any time. There's still an attorney that I have hired, and since he was the one who made the final communication, that's kind of where it sits. I have heard no further communication past the first, we'll call them threats. And really, I hope to keep it that way because, as you guys have seen, I don't believe that I use this car with any malintent or anything like that. Man, I thought it was a great opportunity to partner with a certain organization. I thought it would be really good, but it's unfortunate it didn't work out the way it did. And I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough information, but really there's nothing new. If you guys want to see more videos or have any video ideas regarding the car, let me know. But as of right now, I want to focus on the Focus. Okay, I didn't plan that one. And I've got another rebuild project that I bought, and I've had a professional working on some of the body work because it's a really nice car, and I really, really want to get that car in. My plan, by the way, so you guys know, I'm going to take the Focus, which I'm going to switch really quick so you guys can see. I'm going to take the Focus, and I am going to repair everything in the engine bay that needs to be repaired, so it's not spewing oil, so it's not going to suck in a piece of plastic in the air intake, so that the car can actually physically drive. And I'm not saying drive a far distance, but drive. Once it's there, I might work on the interior, which has one blown airbag. I'm going to drop it at a body shop to get the framework taken care of. Anytime it comes to framework, I want it done precise. I want it done well. And then I plan on unveiling my new rebuild project while that is being worked on, because I've already had all the major work on this other rebuild project done. So at that point, I'll be able to assemble it. And there's still a good amount of work that needs to be done on it, but it is stuff that will be really good on video. And then when we get the Focus back, the Focus should just be a lot of assembly. The rear end is going to be a pain. Again, here, I'll scroll down so you guys can see the rear end here. All of this scratching. It's kind of interesting how it happened because the rear bumper is not pushed in at all, but it is all scuffed there. There's a line. And that's what's going on. So this is what we're focusing on. Now, I have to recognize two guys. I want to recognize Mark Hopley, who threw me a couple bucks, told me it's a little help to get the RS back on the road. I greatly appreciate that, Mark. I appreciate you watching as well. And Emmanuel, he says he likes the videos. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. I really appreciate it. So we're going to go back to phone lines 515-602-9667. I got to look down because I don't even know this phone number. I think the phone number changes with the service that I'm using. So it's not going to be the same, or maybe it will be. When we do a live stream, this upcoming, I'm going to make sure on my calendar here, it's Tuesday, right, guys? Tuesday for the Jaguar. Tuesday is the 3rd. That is correct. We're going to do a live stream for this car. When this car goes to auction, we'll be watching it live. So I think we're pretty good on those two cars. I want to go to Copart really quick. I want to check on a couple other cars. Guys, you can hit me up with some cars in the, and I appreciate everybody who's copying the phone number in the comments or in the chat section, because that'll help others that are just joining. By the way, if you join, be sure to hit the like button. We'll get a few more people in here. We can definitely get a few more calls on the line. If there's something that you're interested in, whether it's a Copart car or a car on another auction site or whatever, shoot me a link. We'll try and pull it up. We can talk. Wow, Verone Roblox really wants a Tesla Model 3 in the worst way. We could talk in a minute as to why that is a terrible idea. To anybody but Rich Rebuilds, of course. Shout out Rich Rebuilds, one of my favorite YouTube channels. We're going to go back really quick, see if there's a phone call. Let's see what is going on. Who do we have here? All right, we've got Jose in Chicago. Jose, go ahead with your question, man.
I want to know what good websites can I look into to buy a used car?
Tell me, what sort of used car are you interested in buying, Jose?
I just want to get like a beater car.
Yeah,
to like a project car.
Okay, so you want and you want it cheap, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jose wants a beater car, a cheap car, a project car, something he can work on. So when it comes to that, of course, you guys know I like Copart a lot. And this is the section that I talk about, but I don't show a lot. Donations. Donations are full of older cars, cheap cars, Cars that are higher mileage, but a lot of them are really clean, and some of them are even one-owner cars. So this is definitely a place to look at. I like to sort by newest donated cars. Now, Jose, that's not the only place. If you want to do something local, something easy, something without dealing with an auction, I used to always look on, a bunch of sites. I would hop on eBay, then I would go to Craigslist, and then I would go to, what's the other one? Auto Trader. But if you use this website here, Auto Tempest, it's a website I really like, and it's a website I've been using more and more lately. And as a matter of fact, I found a really, really cheap car that I'm borrowing for a video that's coming up now, and I might end up buying it if it's really nice. It's not a salvage car, but it is a really, really, really cheap AMG Mercedes, and it was a great deal. I found it here on Auto Tempest. Basically, in the case you're looking for like a Mercedes AMG, you can go right here, you hit Mercedes, and then you can go, like I leave any model selected, but I hit advanced search, and I'll say keywords, AMG, and I'll search within like 500 miles of right here, Tampa. Someone saying hello from NPR in the comments section. I think NPR is Newport Richey. If it is, what's up, Newport Richey? Not too far away from the Tampa Bay area. Right here it will tell you everything. Now, I wasn't very strict on my searches, but you can sort by the lowest price right here. And there you go. This is how I found, this AMG that I found is a few $1,000s. Let's just put it that way. And it's actually really nice. But like right here is an eBay 2002 CL500. The current bid is $4,200, but they're asking $4,500. Here's an ML55. I don't think this car is that cheap, depending on the mileage. If it had low mileage, maybe. It looks really nice and clean. Here's a CLK 550 for $8,000. Actually, I really, really, really like the CLK. So this is the website I recommend just because it saves me a lot of time. And I used to search all the different car sites that they have listed on here anyway. It's all in one place. It takes me a minute to do it versus 10 minutes like it used to. So I appreciate your question, Jose. Let us see what's going on in the chat. Let's see. I'm in the chat and I see a guy telling me I should be looking for a 1996 Mini. But I don't see anybody telling me to look for, okay, here we go. Evans is telling me to look at a Copart listing right here. I'm going to pull it up really quick. Evan, 318-22998 on Copart. Let's see what we got here. Somebody asked me if I'm going to JB weld my intake on the Ford Focus RS. No, those intakes are really cheap, and it's all exposed. And it wouldn't make any sense to JB weld it. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that personally, especially on a car like that. Somebody wants me to check this out. This car is already sold. Maybe they bought it. And this car says that the engine starts, but the car does not run and drive. I see back in the corner, it looks like we got some door damage, maybe suspension damage, why the car possibly doesn't drive. And yeah, that's likely. You see it's on an angle. Otherwise, this car looks, see here, the quarter panel is not too bad. You wouldn't have to get this, at least I wouldn't get this replaced. It's not what I would do for this inexpensive or as cheap as I think a car like this would sell. You'd want to probably just get a whole new door. You want to get somebody to fix all this. It might need a little bit of work, pulling out, whatnot. But this suspension is your issue. And I like suspension because suspension's like a Lego to me. So there is our car right here that somebody asked. Thanks for sending that in. I'm going to take one more phone call, but what I want you guys to do right now, first of all, hit the like button, get a few guys more in the chat. I really appreciate when you do that. And then the next thing I want you to do right now is to load up the chat section with Copart lot numbers so that we can check them out, because I like going through them. I like to see what you guys find on Copart. Let's see here. We got a lot of different stuff. Somebody asked, why don't I buy the Mustang just like the Mustang on Goon Squad channel? That's a good question. I like their build. I think they're doing a great job. I really like Goon Squad's channel. They're already doing a Mustang. Why do you want to see two Mustangs? But it's a great car to rebuild. I think the Ford Mustang is one of the best cars to rebuild, hands down, because the parts availability is just ridiculous on those cars. Phone number is 515-6029-667 if you want to get a get a call in here if you have a question about pretty much anything. All right, let's see here. We got some callers, but I'm not sure that let's see here. Let me get this one right here. This is Connor. He's been waiting a long time in Michigan. Connor, tell me what's going on, man. How are you doing?
Pizza Hut of Waterford, how can I help you? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm just messing around. Anyways, my question is, what are your future plans for content on your channel? I really like the RS project, but I'm just curious as to if you're, expanding out or, what your plans are.
Well, that's a good question. I think it's not the most direct answer because everything you guys see is pretty well live. I say live, I make a video. It might take me a day. It might take me 4 or 5 days to make one video, but I put it together and it's up instantly. I don't sit on a lot of content.
Right.
Yeah, I might shoot a little scene here or there and use it later. But like the build on the Focus RS, I did that literally on Tuesday and put the video up Wednesday. I had the video done Tuesday evening. It was just too late to upload it. So as far as that goes, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on my next car, and I plan to continue rolling on with more project cars. Is there something specific you were referring to as far as whether it's teaching sort of content or whether it's building sort of content?
Yeah, I think that the teaching content is fantastic because for me, I was very close to buying a new RS, and this kind of opened my eyes to possibly doing something like this because, I mean, you're right. It's a lot cheaper than buying, what are they, 40,000?
Yeah.
Roughly in that range new. So I think that making that kind of thing accessible to, the regular person is awesome.
Well, I appreciate those words, Connor, and it's kind of why I do it. And I will give you a little bit of a flip side to it, though. In my opinion, and I believe that this will end up being a good project, this Focus RS. It is not the most difficult, at least in my opinion, I say it's not the most opinion because I'm not doing the framework. That sort of stuff, I really am a firm believer it's got to be done right. And that's why I take it to a shop to be done because I don't have those sort of professional tools. Anything I can't do, I like someone that knows how to do it. Although most stuff, again, on cars can be figured out. But what I do think is that this car did cost. I'll just tell you guys, in a future video, I'll disclose all the costs. This car was over 10 grand the way it sits. Just because the parts on an RS are, let's call them special. People will pay money to get an engine and a transmission out of an RS. And the differential out of an RS because it's all-wheel drive. And, there's just so many little things. It's got Recaro seats in it. People would love to have Recaro seats. People do swaps and, Focus STs that don't have the seats, things like that. So parts cost alone, the car is worth a certain amount. And they still sell for a decent amount of money. I can show you, well, if I show you, then you guys will probably find my car. My buddy's site, Nick, he's probably watching right now. Shout out to Nick. AutoAuctions.io. Let me see here what we got. If we're logged in, I don't want to show my password, so I'm going to just switch screens really quick. Guys, if you're just joining, be sure to hit the like button so get a few more people in here. But going back to the teaching and the content and all that sort of stuff, I'm being very long-winded. If you go and you just buy the Focus RS and then you just run to the dealership and you buy all the parts, and I've said this a lot, you're going to spend way more than it's worth. I actually, before I started building the Focus RS, I called around and I started asking a bunch of different Ford dealerships, what sort of parts pricing can you give me? Because I'm not paying retail. These guys have huge markups on their parts prices. Absolutely incredibly huge. So you definitely want to look around, find out where you can get parts. And a lot of people have reached out to me actually with some Focus RS parts lying around, which is a great help to me because I was going to buy them anyway. I can take them off their hands, save them some space. I can use them and I'm going to get them a lot cheaper. Going on forums, it's really important to go around and first of all, get the right parts. I'm not a big fan on a nice car of aftermarket body panels. I bought all my body panels at the Ford dealership and they're extremely expensive. I spent $2,000 and I think I just got like 2 fenders. Well, what did I spend? Maybe it wasn't just, I have to think. The hood was almost $400. The bumper was $400. No, I spent over $1,100 on a bumper, a hood, and 2 fenders. And the bumper has so many grills and inserts with it. The bumper itself will cost over $1,000 when it's all done. That being said, I don't trust the aftermarket quality. Now, anyway, I think I've been quite a bit long-winded here, but Connor, I appreciate you enjoying this build. I appreciate your input on the channel, and I hope that through these videos, I'm slowing down, even though I'll do a few more educational, let's call them base videos. I hope that you can find education in the build side of stuff, if that all makes sense. Here's a quick Focus RS to look at. We'll check this one out on Nick's site really quick and just kind of see what the story is. But if you look here, this car looks to be in a lot better shape than mine. It doesn't tell us who it's for sale by, but being that it's a pure sale, that's a big, big sign that it's likely for sale by the insurance company. Got quite a good amount of miles on it. Oh, and the whole side is trashed. So this is a car with different sort of damage. It looks like the front end was disassembled because none of these pieces of plastic look cracked. They look to be in excellent condition. Just this piece right here on the bumper is probably at least $100, if not a couple $100. The top piece that just covers your radiator. So you guys, let me guess. You guys, can you see this? Yes, you can. Okay, I thought that you guys weren't able to see that for a second. So anyway, somebody asked, what's my take on the messed up side? Well, doors can be replaced, fenders can be replaced, quarter panels, they can be replaced, but they're a lot more difficult and they're a lot more costly than the rest. Doors don't scare me, fenders don't scare me, quarter panels do. So, I needed that. Yeah, I like this car actually. It looks like it might have some suspension issue right here. No airbags in the inside that we can see. I don't think there's a curtain one there. This is a great car. And I anticipate it will sell probably around what I bought mine for, over $10,000, if not more, because really you got no damage on the quarter panel here. And it looks like this rocker panel is completely busted. But that's not the end of the world because you can replace that. Depends how much it bent the floor in here, if any. So this is a great Focus RS. I love the color too. This is my favorite color. When you're at the salvage auction, it's tough to pick the specific car that you want in the specific color, of course. All right. I've been talking a lot. We need to get some of these lot numbers that you guys are hitting on here on the chat. I appreciate you guys throwing some of those in the chat. Let's see what we got here. Got a lot of them rolling in right here. Here we go. Someone says a VW Tiguan all over damage, but it looks good to them. Guys, when you're giving me lot numbers, please let me know, give me make and model at least. That way I'm not just, pulling up, something that doesn't have some sort of story or something that might not be so interesting. So here's a car, live auction's going on right now. Let's see if we can pop that open, just see what's going on with that. We all know Copart might be making a lot of noise. By the way, guys, if you want to call in, we'll take a couple more calls before we wrap this up. A 515-602-9667. I really want to get to your suggestions in the chat section. Oh, there's our Copart music. There's our Copart music. We got to pause that music. Sorry, guys. I know you want to hear that music, but I am turning the music off. There's also something else that's going to make noise. That's this down here. Here we go. All right. VW Tiguan, vandalism all over damage, minimum bid in Canada. Looks good to them. On a car like this, where I have no clue what the situation is, it looks perfect. One thing is it has a decent amount of miles on it, has some decent age on it. So it does seem like a reasonable car. I hop over to autoauctions.io. This is the site right here, autoauctions.io. A lot of people asked me my last chat. And you hit this, and here it is. This is for sale. It tells us exactly who it's for sale by. From the insurance company, it says it's a run and drive. The engine starts, says it has the keys. It's never been sold before. Try and find me something that looks strange, guys. In the chat, try and find me something that looks strange, because this auto auctions will open your eyes up a little bit more than on a car like this Volkswagen Tiguan, which just could end up being a good deal for someone. So let's check here what we got. Someone's got a lawnmower. That's a interesting one, a lawnmower. Yeah, and a lot of people are surprised on Copart that they've got stuff like lawnmowers. There's actually a set of like a dining ware set, like a really, really cheap dining ware set. It was hysterical. I think I've seen a microwave on Copart, all sorts of fun stuff. Andreas has a GTR here, 359 80618. Guys, make sure you join me for the live chat Tuesday morning. The auction's at 9. We'll get started a little bit earlier. I think the auction's at 9 here. I got the Jaguar sitting right here. It's at 10, so I'm going to start at 9. How's that? And then who knows how far down the list that Jaguar is. So here we go. A GTR. Now, this is a good car right here because it's $61,000 for 2017 GTR. Why don't I buy this thing right now, guys? I mean, that is stupid cheap for a 2017 GTR with 18,000 miles, run and drive. And look, this car looks like it has a little bit of side damage, but, you know, nothing too bad, right? Now, this is a great example. Andreas, thanks so much for sending this one in. This is a great example. Now, guys, before I show you what I'm about to show you, hit the like button, get a few more people in here, because they've got to see this. This is going to be good. Well, at least I have a feeling. I honestly haven't seen this car, but I have a feeling it's going to be good. I grabbed the lot number from here. I'll go over to autoauctions.io. I'll hit paste and check this out. Let's see what we see. This site is so much fun. I'm telling you, like, I spend a lot of time looking on this site. So here we go. It tells us the seller's a third-party seller. So we'll click it. Here's the same photos we just saw. It says it runs and drives. It gives us all the same information. Right here, it will tell you that it's been bid this many times. So this car has gone to auction, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Seller has not accepted an offer yet. Okay, first of all, like, isn't that crazy? That's great right there in itself that you know that this car has attempted to be sold so many times. It will sell. But then the next thing right here, vehicle sales history. It sold a month ago for $51,500. So we know that the seller's trying to make, what, 10 grand on it, minus all their costs. Let's see what it originally looked like. And here it is right here. Actually, from these first photos, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like it was just disassembled. This is a car. It could be like my Corvette. Kind of a weird accident. They total it out because it's an expensive car. But this is what it originally looked like. And honestly, I think for 50 grand for a 2017 GTR, this guy, the original guy that bought it for 50, got a steal. He saw what he got. And honestly, I don't think he's asking too much at 61. So here's what it originally looked like. It looks like there might be a little bit of door damage here. Is that quarter panel damage? You know how much I don't like the quarter panel damage, but still, it's not so bad that, you know, it's not so bad that I would be too afraid. You just want a really good body man on it to do that sort of work. We've got this Copart auction still running. Let's see here. I'm going to do one more check of the phone lines, and I'm going to get back. We'll do a handful more of the chat suggestions. Specifically right here, somebody just sent me a Ferrari 458. Of course, we got to check out a Ferrari 458. 285-28278. Let's see that. There we go. Okay, we will check that out. That's a pure sale from Crash Toys. These are usually pretty legit cars. Before we get into that, let me go ahead and check phone lines really quick and see what we got going on our phone lines and see. Let's see here. We've got Josh from Massachusetts. He's got a question about a Lincoln. I know very little about Lincoln, so let's see if we can figure this one out. Josh, what is going on?
Hey man, I was just wondering, I have a Lincoln LS 2003, and I found a Lincoln MKZ for 15 grand, and I was wondering if it's worth restoring the LS or getting the MKZ.
So here, give me the two details again. You've got an LS, which is basically the same car as the Jaguar that I'm selling right here. It's based on the same platform. And then the MKZ is a what year?
It's a 2015, which isn't the year that I want, but it's still a good year.
Okay, so a 2015 MKZ. I have to see what this looks like because I'm familiar with the MKZ, but I don't. Okay, so they did switch the body style in this year here. This is the at least up to date. It's not like the Zephyr. I know you probably remember the Zephyr, right? Kind of older looking, like old school.
Yeah, that 2008, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a $15,000 car. And you tell me what is, you said, or restore your LS. What's wrong with your LS? What would you want to restore on it?
It's just not in the greatest condition. It squeaks whenever it goes over bumps. It could use a tune-up. It's got the check engine light on for a reason that I don't know, and stuff like that.
So, honestly, I'm going to tell you that the older model Lincolns like that, in my opinion, are they're aged now. You know, back when they were new, obviously, like everything, they were decent cars. But they're pretty aged, and that wasn't the best year for Lincolns, in my opinion. These new Lincolns are really nice. And honestly, you know that you're probably not going to get a lot of money out of it. I think that MKZ that you're looking at, that year at least, is at least the new face of things, but it is really just a super high-end Fusion. So it depends on how much you want to spend, you know, the condition of the car, whether that's the car that you like. And frankly, I'm more towards, when you get into a newer car like a 2015 Lincoln like that, the technology in them is just so further ahead of what you're dealing with now that personally I think it's worth it to upgrade to something newer because you're at the point you've gotten your good use out of the car, it sounds like. But it's really your opinion. If you don't care about any of the technology and you just want to keep things running, your parts prices are stupid cheap on an old Lincoln LS. I would guess, at least. I'm pretty certain it's just a lot of Ford parts. Does that answer the question for you?
It's actually quite expensive.
Really?
Yeah, that does answer the question. Yeah, they're actually really expensive. It's like $1,000 for a headlight. It's crazy.
Well, a headlight is a headlight, but I would still think you could go to a pick your part yard and get a headlight. I personally use Rock Auto quite a bit, and I buy, you know, I don't go to the dealership for, especially on an older car. But I would think of things going out, like you're saying, suspension parts. What you're looking for, you've got an early 2000s Lincoln, let's say LS. If you got a squeaky suspension, I couldn't imagine that these parts would be too expensive. But I mean, $50 for a strut, it's reasonable. Again, you're gonna have brand new stuff when you're done. I think of cooling system stuff. If you're at the point where you're refurbishing headlights more than just like getting rid of the yellow, yeah, I think you might need a new car. How's that?
All right, sounds good.
Hey, buddy, thanks very much for calling in. All right, so
Thank you. Bye.
that is, I guess, general car questions. I don't know that I'm the best on, you know, deciding whether you should be buying a new car or not, but it is what it is. I appreciate you calling. And now we are going to go ahead and we are going to jump back over to Copart and check out some of these other cars. Somebody sent me in this 15 Ferrari 458 Italia. This car's got a clean title, so it should sell for a good amount of money, I would think. If we go through the photos, this reminds me of a car that Rob Ferretti described in one of his videos. A Ferrari that had a dent in one of the structural components, like right over here. And yeah, they total it out for frame damage. Now, who knows what the story is on this car, why it has a clean title, but it is being offered pure sale. And really, oh, here you go. Here it is. You got a crack right here. That's why this car is totaled out. Now, and here's a bend right here. And is this the front core support? I'm trying to look at where all this damage is. And look, we've even got the bumper. We've got the tub right here, your front trunk, the headlights. I'm sure Ferrari headlights cost a good amount of money. This is an interesting one. I would tell you that it would definitely be a rebuild candidate in my opinion. I wouldn't let a good car like this go to waste. Now, a lot of guys out there tell me I'm crazy. You shouldn't try and repair. Here's our bend right here. It looks like the crack might be in this corner over here somewhere. I don't see it exactly. Let me look here. You guys still see what I'm seeing? Yes, you are. Yeah, I like this car. And what is it, run and drive and everything? This is a great example. I'm the sort of person that I could live with. Uh-oh, where's the music coming from? There's music coming. Oh, there it is right there. I'm going, when the heck is the music coming from? Crash Toys has a video on it. That was strange. So anyway, yeah, this is a great car. Great all around. Whether you weld, whether you glue, whether you buy a new piece and put this in, it wouldn't bother me. A little crack like that isn't a huge smash in the structure, a huge kink, a huge bend in the structure. It is what it is. I could live with it. Maybe you couldn't. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I had the. I'm sorry, guys. You know that I didn't plan to have that video all the way loud. Let's see here. Let's check out what you guys are. Yeah, sorry for the headphones. I'm wearing the headphones too. It was loud for me. We got a Porsche Turbo in the chat section here. Porsche Turbo. Let's check that one out. Shout out Caleb, who hit me up with Super Chat. Thanks very much, Caleb. Appreciate it. Let's check this one out here. 33162288. And a 2001 911 Turbo. This is a 980. What do they call this? A 986 or 996? You guys help me out with this. Is this a 986? Somebody just text me the numbers 986. So I'm kind of unsure if I'm just confused with what they text me or something else. 996, sorry. I would show you on my cell phone, but then you know exactly who is texting me. Here we go. 996 Porsche Turbo. Yeah, okay. Shows you how much I know about these cars. But seriously, this car from this first picture doesn't look too bad. Needs a fender, of course. What I like to see is when these radiators aren't damaged. That means it hasn't pushed in very far. I don't know if this has a little bit of damage right here on the side. Needs to be replaced, but one of them is not bad as opposed to replacing several of them. Here we go on this side. No, they look about the same. It's just some sort of dirt. This is obviously a track car, so you keep that in mind. Wow, this thing's got some crazy stuff going on in the engine compartment. Only 68,000 miles for a 996, and I think these are HR wheels too. So if you have HRE wheels, you've got a 911 Turbo with only 68,000 miles. This would earn a spot on my watch list. Since I'm not logged in, I'm writing this one down. Thanks for showing this to me. This is a great car. It's going to go for a good amount of money, but this is a phenomenal car. And to be sure, what I want to do real quick is check it on auto auctions. Make sure that this, no funny business, but the fact that it's a pure sale tells me that we've got a good car here. Yeah, it's being offered from the insurance company. They did say rear end damage, huh? Where's the rear end damage on it? I don't see any heavy rear end damage. Maybe they say that since it's been modified in the back here with a different trunk lid and an engine lid and the spoiler, maybe that's rear end damage. I don't know. Hey, thanks, Angel. Angel says he just subscribed to me. He's going to sleep in Spain. I appreciate it. So here we go. We have a 2015 Lamborghini Aventador. And then we also have a Lamborghini Huracan. Let's just go in general with Lamborghini and see what we find. I mean, whatever one looks most interesting to me. By the way, whoever pulled up that 996 turbo, kudos to you. That's a great find. Really good find. Look at this green one right here. And it's in California. Makes me think that it's like the one I rented. But it's a convertible. They rent a lot of these convertibles out. It's amazing that they rent out the two-wheel drive models. It's almost like they want the car to get wrecked. But I didn't say that, so. Ooh, someone sent in a CL65. We definitely got to check that out. Here, let's go through this Hurricane really quick. This car's got some major issues. Rear end looks good. The roll posts here, they deployed, as did all the airbags pretty much. You know, I don't know if you've heard me say this. I'm sure you've heard me say it a dozen times. These dashboard airbags are no fun, especially in a cramped car like this. But you can fix it for sure. This car's got quite a bit of damage on it. Could it be fixed? It depends what the structure looks like in the corner. Obviously, your hood can be replaced. Your windshield could be replaced. The engine's in the back, so you're good to go there. It could be a potential rebuild candidate. Here, I want to see the CL65. Those are the sort of cars that I like. A car that's already probably pretty cheap. Let's see here. Hold on. The CL65 got lost here. We'll type it in here. Mercedes Benz. Somebody asked how much I spent on the Ford Focus RS. I will be telling you in an upcoming video. I haven't disclosed. I did say during this live stream I spent in excess of $10,000 just on the car by itself. I will tell you, if you want to cheat and find out how much I spent on it, you can go over to autoauctions.io, find the same link, the car I bought, and it will tell you how much I spent. So if we're looking here, we want to see, where is the CL65? Somebody sent me here we go. Somebody sent me the lot number again. I appreciate it. Let's hear 33196 378. Here we go. Hey guys, in the comment section, let me know. Geez, that didn't work here. Let me know if you plan on joining me the morning of Tuesday. 33196. Oh, I put in too many sevens. How many of you guys plan on joining me Tuesday morning for the live stream of the Jaguar? Let me know if you're going to be here for that. Here's a Shelby. That's a good one. Robin said he's going to be joining. Bryce is wondering. Mr. Narwhal will come. Good amount of people. Good. Somebody asked how many chickens I have. I only have 3 chickens right now. The rest of them passed away, unfortunately, over the last year or so. But the other 3 are doing pretty good. So let's see here. I'm going to try and get someone to join me for a few minutes during the live stream. I think you guys will like it. I have no cats. No cats, only chickens. CL65. This car is being sold right now. $14,000 starting bid. And this is a salvage certificate for a car that looks in fairly decent shape, although those wheels are massive. Excuse me. Let's see here what we got going on. This is obviously the donut on the car. Car like this, you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to search it on auto auctions, and we'll find the real story on it. Although older Mercedes like these don't command that much money. This is a nice CL class. This is probably the most desirable V12. We'll call it old Mercedes that is out. This is the same concept of the S-Class I had, except it's a CL, so that means it's worth at least $10,000 more than that car. That car was a $20,000 car. So with a clean title, this car would be a $30,000 plus car, again, depending on the condition. So this car doesn't have any additional information. It went for $11,200 once on approval, and it's being resold right now. I can't tell if there was any previous damage, but it's clear that something happened in this front corner. by the looks of the spare, whether it's something as minimal as a tire, but they don't total cars out over tires. So what's the Shelby? What is the Shelby that everybody's telling me to look at? Send me the link to the Shelby, because somebody asked earlier if I do Mustang. That would be the Mustang I would do. I would really, really, really like to do a Shelby Mustang, because I really like Shelby Mustangs. I've had one, and they're really good. Someone asked, is passed away code for Sunday dinner? No, unfortunately, it's not. My chickens are my pets. I only have a couple of them. It wouldn't be worth it for me to feed them and raise them and all that for what you could buy at the store for $2, $3 a pound at most. So here's the Shelby. Somebody sent me that. Appreciate it. Let's go 3A5 to 6668. Wow. It's got a 666 in it. That's not good. That's a cursed number. Hold on. There's another Shelby somebody sent me. Although I want to check this out, because it's a $26,000 GT350. Now, there's one issue with that. This car is obviously a salvage car, has damage. You can buy a used GT350 in the low 40s now, which is insane. I think that this is one of the best sports car values out in the market, bar none, hands down, right now. A used Shelby GT350, although this is a 17, not a 16. So we've got what looks to be a doctored up front end by first look. That's what I would say. I'm not positive. We've got a blown airbag. This stuff right here is expensive. These front end components, this thing, it says carbon fiber composite, although it looks to be in new or replaced or good shape. The backup camera is working. So what we want to do here, this is a buy it now car, which is usually, buy it now cars are generally always being offered by third parties. Not necessarily a bad thing. You guys know I prefer to buy from the insurance company, but let's see what we got going on right now. Guys, if you're just joining, make sure you hit the like button. Get a few more people in here, and then we'll keep going on. So we've got this car. Well, look, this car was sold for $16,300 originally. Now they're asking $26,000, $13,000 more. That goes to tell you what this car could have looked like, and there it is. Whoa! Hey, you guys like that Shelby? Check this thing out. Oh my God, I'm making sure, yeah, you guys can see it. What do you guys think about this? Look at this thing. This thing is insane. Guys, look at this. This was sold for $16,300. Now it looks like this. One thing that is bothersome in this ad. One thing that is bothersome in this ad that I don't like is this photo right here. Right here. You can't see the side. You can't see the apron of the car. If you can't see the apron of the car, good luck. Now, mind you, it could be been completely replaced, completely repaired, and the guy put $5,000, $6,000 into it, and he's looking for a profit. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is what it used to look like. Personally, if I can't go put my hands on it, which I can't because it's located somewhere far out, it is what it is. So somebody's got a 2013 Shelby, the best year of the GT500 until they release the new one, of course. 357722208 Shelby 2013 GT500. This would be a great, great, great car to rebuild because there are so many parts, so plentiful. This car's got a lot of miles on it, but these cars are very reliable as long as they're not heavily modded. Seeing the lethal performance sticker on the windshield tells me it's definitely modded, at least what I would think. Woo, we got a lot of airbags in this car for what looks to be not that much damage. One of the things could be it could have ran over something causing that to happen. This car is interesting. Does it have undercarriage damage? What does it have? Front end and side damage. This is no big deal. Just looking in the photos, this is no big deal. This is an on-approval sale, so who knows. It's got the stock blower on it. Appears to have the stock intake on it. This is, again, in my opinion, the best year of the Shelby GT500. Of course, it's the most expensive year of the Shelby GT500. If you want the next closest thing, the 1112s, then the 10. I had a 2010 GT500. It did feel a little heavy in the front end. And went fast in a straight line, though. So here we go. Let's check this car out on auto auctions. Let's see what this looks like. And let's do this. This is an insurance company selling this car. So, hey, I have no clue why all those airbags went off. That's insane to think. Tell me if you have any idea why you think all of these... Okay, somebody, bald guy, tells me too many donuts in the parking lot. Shout out to you, bald guy. I don't know. This is a weird car being sold on approval from the insurance company. Just amazing to see all those airbags. One big thing here. This is still the era of right before Ford really tailored their interiors. This airbag and this dashboard is going to be not the hardest thing to replace. I'm pretty sure you... Look, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of guys in here that probably have 2011 or even 2010 to 2013 Mustangs, 2014 Mustangs. Tell me this dash plate. I know people would buy Carroll Shelby signed dash plates and they'd swap them out. If that's the case, you do not have to remove this dashboard to put the airbag in. I could be wrong. Someone might let me know. But otherwise, this the first airbag right here, that's easy to replace. Nice car. I'm also going to write this lot number down. I love the Shelby GT500. We need to do one of those. It's got a lot of miles on it, but it's not a bad car at all. Big time find here, whoever found this. I just am so, of course, if there's a passenger sitting in the seat, which is probably likely as well, I think that might have something to do with it too. But still. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. We've got a Rolls-Royce Ghost. Let's check out the Rolls-Royce Ghost. Now, these are cars that I don't think you could expect to see on this channel as far as rebuild content goes. Now, of course, something crazy happens. I typed it in wrong here. 340072 34007268. Didn't find it. Yeah, Rolls-Royce, I just imagine the parts would be astronomically expensive, and they sell for a lot of money as is, so... Not to mention I don't really have the amount of... I don't have that sort of money to be buying, but here's like an example right here. A Rolls-Royce drop head. Look at this thing. So we could title this, look, this being offered by AIG Insurance. We could, for sure, we could say that this is the lightest Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe. That would be our clickbait title for this car. The structure looks really darn good in the front end. I love how it's disassembled. So Body Shop obviously took this car and disassembled it. Maybe this is bent in a little bit right here. What does the other side look like? Maybe, maybe not. I can't tell. It's too tough to tell. Maybe not. This looks pretty good. Wow. Beautiful car. Really a beautiful car. Look at that beautiful V12 engine. 177 miles. We got all our parts right here that were taken off the car. I tell you what, if you want to rebuild a Rolls-Royce Ghost and got a couple $100,000 to drop in at the same time, by all means. These are interesting cars because it's like a guy with enough money to buy a Rolls-Royce probably isn't thinking to go the salvage route. And even, look, it's still selling for $131,000. So, I mean, let's see what we got here. We have a... Look at the mileage. Yeah, I saw it. 177 miles. All right, this McLaren. Somebody's been sending me a McLaren quite a bit. Now, somebody's saying this is insurance fraud. I beg to differ. I don't think so. Basically, again, this car could have a little dent right here. And they'll say that's, or on the underside, frame damage. It's just how it goes. I personally believe, cars like my Corvette, which why in the heck it's not done yet is a good question. That it shouldn't have been totaled out. So here we go. This is a cool car right here being offered by the insurance company. A 650S Spider. These are awesome. I'd love to do a McLaren, although I wouldn't love to track down the parts for one. And especially this one's got some cracking of the rear here. Now, I'm not sure what these cars are made out of, whether they're made out of carbon fiber or some sort of composite. But clearly, it's cracked. At least it looks cracked. You can see the circles around everything. It's cracked all down here. I'm pretty sure these cars are all carbon fiber. So this is definitely a tough car to deal with. So cool car, but unless you want to replace the whole entire body, I don't think. I mean, look, there's guys that could try and put some sort of whatever. I don't even know what you'd use to fill this. It just wouldn't work out right. I couldn't deal with it. So somebody asked a question. Tristan's Adventures said, how can I find my old car I owned without the VIN number? So you own the car, Tristan, but you don't have the VIN number. You're wondering how you can track it down. This is a question, not specifically that without the VIN number, but I get asked a lot, how do I track down my old car? I want to find it at the salvage auction, or I want to rebuy it, or whatever. First of all, if your car gets into an accident and you really want to buy it back from the insurance company, you do it before it hits the auction. By the time it hits the auction, there's too many eyes on it. It's probably not going to be worth it to you. Maybe it might be. Maybe it goes for cheaper than you thought. Maybe it goes for cheaper than you were going to negotiate with. If you're looking to track down your old car, it's very difficult. At least from what I could provide, I can't provide any help. I've heard of different investigative services and whatnot. I think the best route to go would be pull the most recent service or Carfax records on it and see where it was registered last. See the city and state, if it was sold by a dealership. If you get far enough, you can start to make calls and find out. But really, that's the only thing I could offer as far as how to track down your own car. I think it's pretty much impossible. I say impossible. It's not impossible. It'd be very time consuming. How's that? So unless it's something really special or something super like Papa John's old, they kind of bringing up Papa John's. I'm sure you guys have heard the story of Papa John's old Camaro where he sold it to start the restaurant or whatever, and he ended up buying the same one back and paying the guy a ton of money for it. So 2008 Ford Mustang Charade. I just subscribed and notifications. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Someone says they want to buy this Corvette. We'll take a look at this Corvette real quick. If I could get it typed in here. 458 98718. Am I having a tough time typing these in, or am I on 458 98718? Well, that's what they sent me. It didn't work. So let's see. Someone's got an interesting find here. Let's see. 343-44208. Let's check that out. Chevy Police Tahoe. Wait a minute. It's a police car. How is it being sold at auction? Check it out. It doesn't have any of the stickers on it. Wow. Okay, that's a novel idea. 6 actual miles being offered for only $38,000. So if you want to drive around the Police Edition Tahoe, brand new. How in the heck this is the strangest thing, because it's just a certificate of origin. This is one of those strange stories. Who knows? It's a new car that showed up at Copart. Oh, hail damage. Jeez, who knows? It says it's hail damage. That's what happened to it. So usually the hail damage cars are not completely totaled. Usually they still retain a clean title, but they just send them to auction, especially when they're new. Dealerships will just send them to auction. Somebody wants a Jetta update. A Jetta update. While I've been doing this live stream, someone called me 1,000,000 times to tell me what the situation was with the Jetta. And I can't answer because I'm in the live stream. I don't know what the story is with the Jetta, although I would like for it to go to Copart. Write Copart and tell them that you want to see a 2013 Money Pit Jetta there. You know, I called them up and asked them, and I might try and just see if I can run the car, you know, as is through Copart at a salvage auction. But, you know, the story's out there. I just want it to go to a place where someone's going to use it for either parts or someone's going to take the time to rebuild it or whatever. So anyway, this is a 2015 BMW I8. Knowing that these are partial electric cars, This sort of stuff kind of scares me. Wouldn't scare Mr. Rich, though. You would definitely need probably a whole new car. I'm guessing this front structure is pretty trashed, although it's tough to see what's actually going on in this car. And it looks, again, like it's made out of some sort of carbon fiber, some sort of composite. So, yeah, this is... It is what it is. Somebody mentioned something here. It says, my dad had an edition 1 of 1 2007 SRT8 Charger. It was totaled from someone running a red light. They found it on Craigslist, but they couldn't afford it, but they just want to know if it went to auction. If you want to know if it went to one of the salvage auctions, if it's already sold, it's going to be tough to find unless you use Nick's site right here, autoauctions.io. You can find pretty much all the listings going back for, I think, over a year now and counting of anything that's sold at the salvage auction. So somebody said that they just search for the price of the Focus RS. They won't disclose the price. It is on there. I've seen it myself personally. So I'm not telling you to cheat and go and do that, but yeah. You know what I've been looking for? I've been looking for Offset's Hellcat at the auction. I think that would be fun to find. We'll check out a Hellcat here really quick and see what they got. Right now, what I always ask you guys when we talk about Hellcat, I want to know, Challenger or Charger Hellcat? Type in right now, chat section, Challenger or Charger Hellcat. For me, my vote goes Charger, believe it or not. The big thing I don't like about the Charger is you can't get in a stick. So let's see what they say here. We've got Charger, Challenger. It's a mix. A lot of both. Charger, a mix. Now, you know what? If I were to buy one to rebuild, and it's been discussed a few times with me and a few other people, it'd be a great car to rebuild. Again, an American car with a lot of parts available. For a rebuild for videos, I think the Challenger would be the way to go with a stick shift. You got to get the stick shift. I might disappoint some of you guys by saying this, but I prefer Shelby Mustang over this. I just like a smaller sort of car, and the Challenger and Charger are both very big cars. So out of all these, though, here's one in Long Island that's a run and drive. Here's a minor dents and scratches. Let's see the situation with this guy right here. This is a Hellcat, and these don't look like Hellcat wheels. It doesn't look like a Hellcat front end. I could be wrong. This looks like a base front end. I don't know. Is this a real Hellcat? Look at this. It says Hellcat. I don't know if this is a Hellcat. I don't think this is a Hellcat. I got to search this, because usually Copart's pretty accurate when it comes to their system. Unless somebody swapped all the stuff over once. Yeah, no, they just made a mistake. That's all it is. Sitting here going, this don't look like a Hellcat. Let's see here. Here's another runs and drives Hellcat right here. And it's got a lot of the car disassembled, but the front end looks pretty straight from what we can see. Make sure I'm saying the right thing here. We'll go to the photos. It says it's got all over damage. Rear end's got problems. The sides got problems. It's an automatic. 30,000 miles. There's some of your bumpers. Pure sale. So this would be, if you could get this cheap, I would say, now I say this, it's near impossible to find this. For a running, driving Hellcat, they all sell over $20,000 just because the engine transmission is worth so much. But yeah, this is somebody's asking, is it a scam? I'm going to go with the answer of no, because it's a pure sale, number one. Number two, it's got all that damage on it. And again, scam is a tough word to use, because these tools are at your disposal to use, but I know it's not the easiest thing to say. It's a debate. We could have a long discussion on it one day. I want to look at this one because I think I've seen the same car. Whoops, I want to type it in here and show you guys. A fellow YouTuber brought this car to my attention, and it's really interesting. 00508. And you guys are going to be in for a treat. So this is a Scuderia, a 430 Scuderia in very good condition. It looks real nice. It's got a little bit of bumper issue down here. Got a little bit of bumper issue right here. Missing the rear grille right here from what we can tell. I don't know that this gap looks normal. See the gap in the bumper right here? And then go and look at this side. The gap in the bumper is off here. So this is a car that in clean title, perfect condition, will be a couple $100,000, yet they're only asking $110,000 for it. This is one of the ones that we're definitely going to want to hit up on autoauctions.io and show you guys what we're looking at. Let's see here. Somebody asked if I got my car back from the tow truck driver. The answer is yes, and I'll be updating you on that very soon. I apologize for not telling you guys sooner about that. Long story, but I had to kind of protect myself and get the car back before I decided to tell the whole world about it. All right, right here. Right here is the car we just looked at. You can go right here. We can see that this car was relisted, and it's this listing right here. So this is the first time this car is going up for auction. When we look a month ago when it sold for $86,000, here is what it looked like. This car had quite a bit of damage. You can probably see why the bumper doesn't line up. This looks like it might have pushed out the fender a little bit. We can see where an insurance company, well, not an insurance company, but a body shop probably hired by the insurance company, went and marked everything here in the pen that they do. And yeah, this car is a lot worse now, or excuse me, before than it looks now. And again, without being able to put your hands on it, who knows the sort of job they did repairing it. They could have done a good job. They could have done an average job. Who knows? So that is what that car looks like. So guys, we really appreciate you all joining me today for this auction car hunt. Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's make sure that is right. Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This says 10 a.m., but we're going to start an hour early. Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Right around there, within a few minutes, I'll be going live. I'm going to try and set up a pre-live thing so that you guys know. We will be watching what the Jaguar sells for at Copart. I hope you guys join me for that. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and have a few guests. I'm going to try and do a few giveaways. I'm also going to open up the phone lines like we did in this live stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed the phone lines. Thanks for all you guys who called in. I really appreciate that. And I will try and also give out the phone number if I can on Instagram or something beforehand so you guys are ready to go. So with that being said, thanks a whole lot for tuning in on this one, and I will catch you guys next time.